Oscar Piastri continued his title fight back at the Qatar Grand Prix by beating championship leader Lando Norris to pole, having won the sprint at the Sale from the front of the grid earlier on Saturday to reduce Norris' title lead to 22 points. Piastri edged out teammate to secure pole for the penultimate race of the season. Max Verstappen, who retains a chance of winning the title, starts third for Red Bull behind the McLarens. Norris led Piastri in the first runs in Q3, but aborted his second attempt, leaving after an error, leaving the door open for the Aussie to take pole by just over a tenth of a second. Piastri said, "We left pretty much the car pretty much the same. Everything felt great. If it ain't broke, don't fix it." Norris can become the world champion with a race to spare if he is 26 points or more ahead of Piastri and 25 points in front of Verstappen after Sunday's race. This means he must gain 4 points on Piastri and effectively finish ahead of Verstappen. "I just had a bit of understeer and was going to go off, so I had to abort it, which is a shame, but it's the way that it is," said Norris, who finished third in the sprint earlier on Saturday. Oscar did a good job, drove very well, and has been driving well all weekend. Nothing to complain about, just didn't do the lap and still P2 for tomorrow. George Russell almost pushed Verstappen down to fourth, but came up 11 hundredths of a second short of the Dutchman as he took fourth in front of his Mercedes teammate Antonelli. Lewis Hamilton's woeful weekend continued as he was knocked out in Q1 in 18th once again. His Ferrari teammate Charles Leclerc also lacked pace but battled through to Q3, ending at 10th after a spin. Isaac Hadjar took 6th for Racing Bulls ahead of Sainz, while Alonso and Gasly finished ahead of Leclerc. Piastri arrived in Qatar in a poor run of form that saw him go from leading a championship by 34 points in August to having what can only be described as an outside chance. There was hope he could rediscover his form at a circuit race further well in the past, but Norris' superb run ensured he'd need to be at his best to remain in contention. He found that in the sprint as he outpaced Norris throughout, and yeah, Norris survived the scale in Q2 after a blunder on his first run, left to him needing to deliver under pressure, but he eased through. The Brit then appears to be bouncing back when he edged Piastri in the first runs, but as was the case in sprint qualifying a day earlier, he was unable to execute cleanly on his final lap. Piastri put together a clean lap to go clear, claiming a crucial pole that gives him a huge opportunity to take the title battle to the final race. There's an added twist on Sunday's race with a one-off rule in place, limiting usage of each tyre into making at least 2 pit stops, barring red flag interruptions. Piastri said with 2 stops tomorrow, he'll be pushing hard the whole time. It'll be tough, but also incredibly fun, said the Aussie ahead of a crucial race tomorrow. And before I go, I'll run you through the grid. Yeah, obviously Piastri coming out on top, huge for him, and he needs to convert that really to have a decent chance. Norris in second, I think he'll be relatively happy with it, still got a chance of winning, so yeah, he'll be hopeful. Verstappen in third, I mean, probably the maximum he can do, but he does need to do better to be in contention, doesn't he, going into the last race. So yeah, we'll wait for a blunder. Russell fourth, Antonelli fifth. I mean, decent enough job from them, probably maximise what they can do. Hadjar as well, great job from him. Sainz as well. I think Alonso maybe slightly frustrating to drop behind some of those cars, but he did his best. Gasly ninth, getting that tractor into Q3 is an achievement. Leclerc 10th, I mean, I think he did very well to get that car into Q3 when you see where his teammate is, had that spin as well. Hulkenberg in 11th, did a decent job, but not quite enough to get into Q3. Lawson 12th, I mean, yeah, I mean, bit off his teammate, so he'll be frustrated, but it's not the end of the world, is it? Haas really struggling this weekend. Albon away off Sainz again. Tsunoda, I mean, yeah, very frustrating for him. Didn't really have the pace that he saw earlier in the day. Hamilton in 17th. I mean, he said the car was feeling better, just no pace. It seemed like he was quite close to Leclerc, and in that final run, he just couldn't deal with it. So yeah, very, very annoying for him. Stroll in 18th. I mean, away off his teammate once again, very frustrating. Bortoleto 19th. Disappointing. Obviously had that grid penalty, which doesn't help. And Colapinto in last, away off his teammate. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme, and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.